Okay. All right. Here we go. So, I think it's been like, what, 2 days since I made my kind of long audio of me just kind of spilling my guts out about how I've been feeling lately. And I was originally going to talk about Heated Rivalry a lot more, but I kind of just went off on a little side adventure of like talking about life changes and stuff, which that's still all going on. Don't get it twisted. Like I'm still I'm still going through it. Like it's funny because it's like, again, like I said in the last thing, it's good that this is happening, and so many people that have listened to it and responded have told me that it's a good thing that it's happening, and my therapist told me it's a good thing that it's happening. And yeah, I'm a therapist that goes to therapy. It's a lot more common than you think. But yeah, so I figured, why not do it some more? And who gives a shit, right? Like, it makes me feel good after I'm done it. I feel like a lot's off my chest. And I was like totally floored, like shocked that I woke up this morning and I saw that I had 200 and some views. Like, holy shit. Like, realistically, if we look at it like this, if I told you I made a music video and I was like Taylor Swift and I said my music video got 200 views, you'd be like, oh, okay, cool. That's not a lot. But if you think about it, could you fit 200 people in the room you're in right now? Probably not, unless you are like in a park or you live in a mansion. Like, I don't even know if I could fit 100 people in my house, let alone 200. So like, if I had a crowd of 200 people all at the same time that listened to me talk about that, that's amazing. I would feel like a celebrity if that was happening, in real time in front of me. So like, to wake up and see that many people listened to it, whether they hated it or liked it, I don't know. Like, not everybody commented, not everybody, clicked a thumbs up or a thumbs down or whatever, but the fact that even happened is just, I'm like smiling from ear to ear talking about it, and it's like, wow, like, whoa. I never thought that anything like that could legitimately ever happen. Like, that's so nice. And then I got 2 comments from 2 different people, at least as of now that I've seen. 2 comments from 2 different people that I have no idea who they are. They're in different parts, I'm assuming at least of the US. I don't know, maybe the whole world. I don't know. But 2 different people that were like, yeah, this resonated with me. And they were like detailed, long comments. They were very heartfelt. And like, again, just to think that two people that literally do not know me, would not recognize me in public, may never listen to another thing I say again, felt feelings and had thoughts from something I said is insane. That's crazy to me. But it's so cool. And when I think about it, when I was younger, I grew up watching YouTube as it was kind of just starting. So like, I think Let's Plays, like gaming videos, had just kind of started happening. A lot of things were vloggers, that sort of deal. We didn't have influencers at that point yet, like not even remotely close. I remember there being a news article like on TV about a guy named, I think his channel name was like What the Buck, and it was like, this guy gets paid to make videos on the internet, and that was like shocking then. But now it's kind of like, kids grow up now and they're like, that's my career, that's what I want to do, I'm gonna go dance on TikTok for cash. which good for them. You know, the negative piece of me scoffs at it, and I'm like, oh my god, whatever. But I'm also like, you know what? If it makes you happy, go for it. Because who am I to tell people what to do, how to live their lives? You know. So anyway, I just wanted to say thank you to the people that listened so far, and if you're listening again, welcome back. I'm Jeremy. I'm 28. I live on the East Coast of the USA. I'm gay. I'm out. And I'm still pretty fucking lonely and pretty fucking sad. But I'm smiling today, which is nice. Just because I'm just so happy that people listened. And I did actually go back and listen to the audio that I made, like, honestly 2 or 3 times. And the more I listened to it, the more I tried to talk myself out of keeping it up. I was like, Jeremy, you sound fucking stupid. You sound pathetic. Like, this is wimpy. Like, why are you posting your feelings on the internet to, what, try and get attention? Like, are you begging for sympathy? Like, what is the point of this? And I've been able to resist deleting it because that's what I've always done with anything I've made. I always get rid of it. Usually anything I would ever write, I would delete the file on my computer. I would post stuff and delete it literally like 5 minutes later. I used to have a Pinterest where I posted pictures of special effects, makeup stuff I did, and somebody made fun of my mustache and I deleted the whole account. That was like back in high school. So it's like I always backtrack. But I'm really trying hard not to do it this time because it's fun. Like, that was the fact that 2 people commented. Like, if either of you two are listening, like, truly you made my day. And probably I will never forget the fact that 2 people had something to say to me that didn't already know me, that didn't know all this stuff. It's crazy. It truly is amazing. So I wanted to talk some more. And again, because obviously, like I said, I'm still not feeling great. I'm still having all these feelings. My mind is still spinning. I'm still having moments where I'm like tearing up and crying and being sad for myself and all that sort of stuff. So this time I think I wanted to talk a little bit more actually about the show and my thoughts on it and kind of its effects on other things. So first of all, the show is incredibly sexy. It's hot. Like, it's better than porn in some ways. Like, well, honestly, in a lot of ways. And then I think what adds another layer to it is just what are their names? Hudson Williams and Connor Story. The way that they're just such good friends is like a breath of fresh air. I wish I had friends like that. I have friends that I'm close with. But I don't know, it just feels there's no shame in it, which is nice because I think me and plenty of other people have shame over things we shouldn't have shame about. We have plenty of it. There's tons to go around with how intense it is. So I think it's just lovely to see, and I think that does probably make their on-screen presence that much better. And because now that I have talked about it and looked into it, the internet algorithms are now feeding me it. And it's one of those things where I'm still so jealous. I'm jealous of these fictional characters. I'm kind of jealous of the actors. Even though, like, I don't really want to be an actor. Although, like, again, I'm all over the place. The idea of being an actor is very appealing. Like, I think that'd be fun. I will say, if I dress up in a Halloween costume, I can pretty much commit to the role. There's something about wearing a mask that's special. I don't know. But yeah, like the characters, the actors, it just... there's so much possibility in it, and I think that that is very inspiring. And I think at the same time that's pretty scary too, of the fact that there's so much that could happen that I'm afraid to even try, because that's so much new stuff. It's so unpredictable. It's scary. Even if it would make me smile, even if it would be satisfying, I'm still like, I don't know, should I? Probably not. But I'm doing this again. So I just smacked my desk. Sorry if that hurt your ears. I'm using a different microphone, by the way. This time it's a Blue Yeti microphone. Isn't that fancy? So yeah, just watching the show, and I still haven't gotten past episode 3. I still haven't started episode 4. When, like, I'm not exaggerating when I say, like, this is sending me on a full-on, full-body roller coaster of feelings and stuff. And I have noticed, I will say, that I'm getting less anxious about talking about it with people, because I'm caring a little bit less about what the reaction is going to be, and I'm just more so enjoying sharing things. It's nice to communicate. I don't know how to describe it beyond that. And it's nice to have people to know that I'm kind of not alone with it, and that a lot of other people that feel that way. So yeah, but the show, so like, the show's super sexy, and I think that as a base layer is something that me and a lot of other people are envious of. Not that our own lives can't be sexy, but like, and I mentioned it last time, the mere concept that somebody could look at you and have such a desire for you is almost unreal. Like, obviously it happens. Yeah, it's a show, but like, obviously that happens in real life. We hear stories about love affairs. We hear stories about people finding each other in near impossible circumstances. Like, that stuff, it does happen. It happens. It's not common, but it's there. The possibility is there. And the fact that it just happens for two guys who, on and off screen, are so pleasant to watch and listen to, I think just makes it all the better. It's something to aspire to. And that is one thing I will say, that as I've told some people about it, they've been like, remember, it's a show, it's glorifying stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I'm kind of like, can you just let me be happy? Can you let me be excited about something? Like, and this is another thought that I've had. If Heated Rivalry and the passion and the dedication that that show tries to describe and display, if that's truly impossible, then what am I even trying for? Because, like, I don't want to settle for, like, oh, okay, I like you. Yeah, whatever. Like, we might stay together, we might not. Meh. It's okay. Yeah. I don't want that. If that's what love is, I don't want it. And that's kind of a powerful thing to say, isn't it, huh? Like, if it's not that, I don't want it. And the thing in my mind I compared it to is, it's like, you see movies and stuff about space and how cool it is and how amazing it is, and it's magical and dramatic. But I've never been to space. If going to space means throwing up 1,000 times because I have to train for space, and then being in 0G and being lonely and having a very moderate chance that I might just explode because the thing isn't made correctly or whatever, if that's what space is, I don't want to go to space. The only time I want to go to space is if I'm getting the cool stuff. That's what makes it appealing. I don't care about that other stuff. That doesn't interest me. So why would I want it? Or like, if you ever see a food advertised or something and it looks so good and you're like, oh my god, I want that. I want it so bad. And then you go and you get it and you're like, oh, well, that wasn't that great. Or you go, well, that was trash. Like, what a waste of my time and my money. I don't want that. So in a way, I feel like I understand people telling me, don't get your head in the clouds, don't get too excited. Heated Rivalry, it's a book, it's a show, it is not real life. But if I want love, and if I want passion, and if I want that kind of connection why would I settle for anything less than that? And I know that it's kind of a long shot and it's not going to happen overnight. But why would I want less? Why would I be like, well, I guess I'll just be okay? And then, because the reality is that I'll still want more. Even if I know it's not possible, I'll still be like, well, the idea of that still is so appealing. Why would I settle? And when I think about it, I settled a lot of times in life of being sort of like, well, this is as good as it gets. This is as nice as things can possibly be. So you better suck it up and just enjoy it. Which sometimes I do think we need to be grateful and enjoy the things that we have. But I think if you want more, go for more. Why say no to yourself? Why not try? Because, like I said last time, I'm already disappointed. I'm already sad. I'm already upset. I'm already not feeling great. So why would I settle for this and not at least try a little more? Because if I try, I'll just end up where I am and nothing will have changed. But if I try and it works out, then I'll be somewhere else. And it's easy to say that. It's a different thing to do it. That's certain. That's for sure. It's totally different to do it. But something about the show, something about just watching the first episode and seeing them, Shane and Ilya, just meet, and there's just this kind of immediate like intrigue, and then it just kind of grows and grows and grows, and then they're having sex. They sure are. And I think there's something about that a lot of people just love, of like, there was some sort of connection there that they just both allowed themselves to do. Because in an alternate way of doing this, if I put myself in those shoes, if I played a sport, I saw a guy that was good looking, there is the way I am now, there's no chance in heaven or hell at all, in any way, shape, or form, that I would ever, ever, ever have the nerve to flirt, be near them in the shower, like nothing. Absolutely nothing. And especially if I wasn't out of the closet, like no way in hell. You couldn't catch me dead. So when I think about it that way, I'm kind of like, the fact that people can do that, and people do that, people certainly do, it's crazy to me. And this brings me to a little side story. That is, surprisingly, it's actually hockey related. Isn't that crazy? So, because I'm kind of going through what I'm going through, a friend that I have, his name's Adam, he took me out to dinner to kind of console me a tiny bit. He lectured me for a little bit, which was kind of funny. He told me a lot of the stuff I complained about people telling me, that it's not a show, it is a show. It's not, real. It's supposed to make you want things. It's supposed to get you excited. It's supposed to heighten things. And then, as we were going home, as he was dropping me off, he mentioned that he played hockey as a adolescent and as a teen. And he mentioned that him and a guy on his team fooled around for years, like into their mid-20s, from like teenager to mid-20s. That's fucking nuts. That's crazy. That is insane. Because that whole time I was like, during my dinner, I was like, okay, maybe I should lower my expectations. Maybe I shouldn't get excited. And then, as I'm literally like parked in front of my house about to get out of the car and go inside and lay down because I was super tired, he drops that on me. And I'm like, you do realize that they weren't in love apparently. And it wasn't like heated rivalry passion. But like, that happened. So who's to say something like that can't happen and there be actual feelings involved? Like, I mean, there already was the physical stuff, and it went on for years and years and years through different relationships and different stages of their life, and it kept on clicking. So why can't that happen in other places in life? Why not? Might not happen with a famous person, because honestly, when you think about it, there's literally only so many famous people in the world. There's the statistics, the ratios are not in our favor as like average folks. But still, like, stuff can happen. I don't know. Like, that really threw me for a loop of like, oh my god, are you kidding me? I almost wish you didn't tell me. Because I'm kind of like, wow. So basically, what you're saying is that it could maybe happen. I don't know. That blew my mind. Like, isn't that nuts? Isn't that absolutely crazy to hear that? Like, wow. Anyway, so back to Heated Rivalry. So the idea of that happening, it's far-fetched to me. I could never imagine it happening to me. But here's a guy that I know in my real life who's not famous, who's not rolling in cash, who, is a normal dude. And he had something adjacent. So, why not me? Why not? And the answer to that is there's no reason why not. I can have it. I just gotta do it. I gotta try, that's its own hurdle in it. Because that's, I think, the thing that does make it hard sometimes to watch the show is that it looks so easy, but it's easy for things to look easy when you don't have to do them. Like if you see somebody cook, it's like, oh, well, that seems simple. But then when you actually try and do it, it's like, oh, wow, there's actually a lot of skill involved in this. There's actually a lot of technicalities. Like when you think about it, sports is a lot of the times moving quick, hitting things or moving things in the right way in coordination with your teammates. Like that's a very, very basic way to put it. But there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to it. Like I couldn't play against an NHL player. I couldn't play football against an NFL player. I couldn't ice skate and win against a professional skater. Like those aren't my areas of expertise. I'm not going to beat them. And I don't need to. So like with Heated Rivalry, it makes it look easy. But it's harder in practice for sure. So that's kind of my thoughts about that decent chunk of the first episode. And I like the time skips. However, I feel like that makes it good to watch. However, I think it does minimize how long this shit goes on for. And we don't see too much of like what their lives are like in between. I haven't read any of the books yet, so maybe that's more covered in the books. But it's only 6 episodes of a show, so they have to move quick. I totally get it. So there's these time skips, and like if I put myself in their shoes, the idea of if I had a hookup with somebody that was that amazing and that ignited this fire in me, and then I had to wait months and months and months and still have them on my mind, to still think about them, and for it to just keep eating at me, I would lose my mind. I would probably be the way I am now, probably a mess. And then to get a little taste of it again, and then again be kind of put on the shelf for a little bit, that's crazy. That is heartbreaking in a way, that like in theory they could just get together, but they're not there yet. And most of ours aren't there yet. I think I'm not, technically. Trying though. Sure, I'm trying. But yeah, so I think that is one thing that is very aspirational with the show, is like, oh, that kind of stuff is not an everyday occurrence. However, it's not impossible either. And crazier things happen kind of all the time. Like I think I mentioned last time, I didn't expect COVID to shut down the world for 2 years. You know, if you went back in time and told people we could go to the moon, they would lose their minds. They'd be like, yeah, right, whatever. You know, if you told people that there were microscopic things living on their skin that could cause illness, they would think you're crazy. So, like, things are possible. Plenty of things are. It's just, you gotta believe in them. And belief is a scary thing because there's a little bit of blind faith in it. You can make an educated guess, you can have some evidence, but still there is the unknown. And that is very threatening to, I think, most of us, that it could be very scary to sail uncharted waters and not know where you're going to end up. Even though the reality is, if things do start to go south, you can always go back. For the most part, you can always end up back where you started, for the most part. But with this other stuff, it's like, why not take the risk? Why not be happy? You know, why not be Shane and Ilya and be like, you know what? They're hot. I'm going to flirt with them. Because, like, realistically, what would have happened if one of them wasn't into the other? They just wouldn't have hooked up. And they would have played hockey together still against each other and just not gotten together. That's really the big difference. Like, maybe they could have outed each other. Maybe. But that's probably going to happen anyway. So I don't know. And when I do think about it, it still kind of makes tears well up in my eyes of, like, the idea that somebody could like me that much. It still is hard to believe that it's possible. And it's funny because I used to be such an optimistic kid. I used to really think, like, oh my god, true love's possible, don't give up, don't lose your sense of wonder about the world. And then at some point I did, and I don't know what did it. I don't know if it just faded on its own or what. And it's funny because it's easy for me to have that optimism for others. It's easy for me to hear about a patient of mine or a friend of mine that is starting something new, and I'm so excited for it. And I'm like, go for it, try it. I hope things work out. Like, this could be the start of a whole nother stage of your life, all this kind of good stuff. But when it comes to myself, for some reason, I consider myself this exception, this, like, black hole that will not, none of these nice things could ever apply to it. And when I was at my dinner last night with my friend, he mentioned, like, it's almost like a negative narcissism. So, like, I think I'm special, but in some of the worst ways. And I'm kind of like, yeah, in a way it is. I mean, I don't think I'm narcissistic, but it is weird to think about it that way of, like, am I that special that none of this stuff is possible? Probably not. Not that uncommon or unspecial, special, whatever. And that is something I say to my patients a lot, is that you're more normal than you think. A lot of us deal with a lot of similar things. Just for the most part, we don't tell each other about them because they're gross, or we feel like they're gross or shameful or inappropriate, or it's oversharing. But in my chunks of oversharing through the last thing I posted, and then me just literally talking to anyone who will listen about how sad I am and how much I'm longing for true love and passion and this dedication and just this connection, how much I'm longing for it. A lot of other people have been like, yeah, same here. Like, those two comments were agreeing with me of, like, yeah, same here. I kind of want more, and I gotta keep trying, gotta keep pushing. And some of my friends have said that too. I even downloaded dating apps again to, like, try and put myself out there a little bit more, and I haven't held back when people, and they're really setting themselves up for a hell of a conversation when they're like, hey, how are you? I'm like, well, honestly, not good. I've been really stressed out. I've been crying, thinking about my whole life, having, like, a midlife crisis in my 20s about what am I doing with my time? What am I aiming for? what do I really, really want? That kind of thing. And oddly enough, no one's been upset by hearing about it. At least not that they've shown to me. They've been curious and wished me the best, and some of them have said, like, oh my god, yeah, same here, man. Same here, same issues. Which is, again, really nice to hear that, like, it's not just me. It's not just you either, whoever you might be. Like, we all have a desire for more, usually. So it's kind of a universal feeling, and I think that, again, is why the show hits a lot of people so hard, because it is a box of possibility, and it shows you, like, what if you took that chance? What if those chances happened, and you did take them, and they did work out? What if? And I think that's pretty powerful. Hope is a very powerful thing. Like, yeah, I can't really find many more words for it than it is a very powerful thing. Taking a second to think, recollect my thoughts. So, in terms of pushing forward with things, funnily enough, there's a gay club, like about an hour away from me, that they're hosting a Heated Rivalry themed, like, dance party tonight. And I got a friend of mine to agree to be my designated driver, and we're gonna go. We tried to get costumes, but I don't own any hockey jerseys. I don't own any sports equipment. And so that kind of flopped. But I did buy 2 little cheap trophies from Amazon, and it lets you get them like a custom little plaque put on them. So they're 2 little hockey guys, and maybe I'll put up a picture on the screen. Maybe that'll be the background for this. And one of them just says Shane Hollander, Rookie of the Year 2011. It's a little hockey guy. And the other one says Ilya Rozanov, MVP 2014, which I looked it up, and I really fucking hope that Google didn't do me dirty on this and give me wrong info. But those are the years that they won, like, their first awards. So I thought that that was, like, a cute little thing. I'll bring my little trophy, and it's not very big. It's less than a foot tall. Like, I mean, it's maybe as tall as, like, a juice box for a kid, maybe. I thought maybe that'll be a good conversation starter. Because, I mean, seeing somebody carry around a little trophy is kind of like, oh my god, what does that say? Because it doesn't say my name. So maybe that'll get people talking to me. And maybe I'll talk to some people. Or maybe I'll dance. Maybe I'll pull a P-Town and let loose a little bit. We'll see. But yeah, the fact that I even did that was, like, kind of a big risk, optimistic thing. Because, I mean, they cost money. And it's not like I can repurpose these for much else. Like, they have characters' names on them. But when I was pulling them out of the box last night, I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited for tomorrow. And I usually don't have that excitement about a lot of things. So it's like refreshing. It's comforting to feel that way. And I think I'll kind of wrap this up by saying, still not past episode 3, still waiting on to start episode 4. Hopefully I'll get more of it down. I'm sure it'll hit me hard. I know it will. But in a way, again, like I mentioned before, I think it is good that it's doing this, because it got me to post a YouTube video and a shit ton of people saw it. More people than I could really fathom being in front of me at the same time. It registered with people in my personal life, with strangers, with new people I'm meeting. And again, that's more than I thought was possible. So, I'll keep holding out hope. Even though it does leave a pit in my stomach. Like, honestly, when I think too hard about it, when I think about the possibility of, like, okay, I could maybe meet somebody one day, I could maybe fall in love, I could maybe have this level of dedication with somebody and this level of heat and passion and care is so scary and unfamiliar that it makes me almost want to throw up. Like, my stomach has been messed up the past day or two with feeling like this. And it's honestly physically tiring. Like, I'm beat at the end of the day. I'm not like taking a nap, but like at the end of the day, I am dead tired from all of this intensity that's constantly floating around in my head. But as last time, it feels good to talk about it. It feels good to share. It's nice. And again, even if nobody listens, then it still felt good to feel like I'm talking to somebody, to throw it out there. And I'll probably go back and I'll listen to this, and I'll probably feel super goofy about it. But I'm going to make a promise to myself that I'm not going to delete it. I'm going to leave it up. And I'm going to try and record something again soon. So, yeah. Again, thank you to everybody that listened to the last one. Thank you to the people that commented, or the friends, acquaintances, family that reached out to me and told me that they're proud of me for doing this, and they wish me the best, and they think, all the things I want are really possible. It really, truly means a lot to me from literally like the bottom of my heart. Like, if I wasn't already tired from crying, I probably would be like crying happy tears a lot too. But we're not quite there yet. We'll get there eventually. I know we will. But yeah. So that's kind of all I got. And that kind of sums up my thoughts about episode 1. I'll get into 2 and 3. Maybe I'll do one for each episode. And I'll probably rewatch the series and maybe like actually take notes. And when I read the books, I'll take notes for sure. And I can dig into it there, because like I feel like, for one, it's a story that I like. Like, I'm a sucker for a romance. I love Hallmark movies. Even though, again, it's the same thing over and over and over again. It's comforting. It's heartwarming to feel like things can work out. And while I might get jealous of Hudson Williams and Connor Story and Hollander and Rosanov, like, I might be jealous. I might be like, oh god, I wish that was me. But the reality is like, it's not me. It doesn't need to be, because I can get my own thing that no one else has. I can get my own unique shit and be happy with it. Yeah, so that's kind of my final thoughts. Again, I've been Jeremy. Thank you for listening, and again, if you listen and you liked this or have any thoughts or whatever, please, please, please let me know what you think. I really do love reading the comments. Like, honestly, like I said, it made my day, probably made my week, to see that it brought thoughts to people's minds and they had things to say. And honestly, it's nice to just talk to people. So please, by all means, talk to me. Let me know what's up, what's on your mind. Did it get you thinking? Do you feel the same way? Do you have anything to add? But like, bring it on. I talk to people for a living, and it's satisfying in work, and for the most part, it's satisfying in my personal life. So feel free to reach out. Let me know. All right. I'm gonna go probably honestly take a nap and then get ready for my night out, and I will certainly report back on that. So I hope you have a great day and a great week or whatever, and hopefully you'll hear from me again soon. Bye.